Yo, what's up guys, PKSparkxx here with the very first best of 3 friendly set in Pokken tournament I have going up against the ZeRo. The Smash Wii U extraordinaire. If you guys don't know who he is, make sure you guys check out his Twitter and YouTube link on the description below. I'm going to be having these videos for you guys, and in between them, I'll be having some competitive tips for Pokken tournament when they are ready. I'm not going to put out information that's not ready yet. This is post-commentated, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and subscribe. Maybe even follow me on Twitter to know whenever I'm streaming more Pokken. But in the meantime, we have Chandelure versus Weavile. And I told you guys before, this is a matchup that I have been practicing on because once again, I'm facing a character that if I get caught up in a corner, I'm kind of sort of really hurt. Now you guys saw earlier that I'm actually being able to space out the Weavile, and I even use overheat to push him completely against the wall. Now what I'm doing right here is that's what happens when you charge up your strong attack to its max and you let it go once you see that little charge animation on Chandelure. And it lowers the debuff times on anything that you have. Now that's really important because when Chandelure uses overheat, he's debuffed for 15 seconds. That's insane. Like, that's insane. That's a long amount of time considering you have 80 seconds in a single match. So having that as an option is really good because it can let me get back to my full stats pretty quickly. Now he went for his burst attack, which is an anti-air. At the same time I went for my Finnegan, so I ended up being able to avoid that and got hurt. Ended up avoiding that and knocked him right back, but it wasn't enough for me. I got caught in the corner too much. Chandelure does get bodied and it makes me sad. So round 2, this is the part where I'm like, okay, let's go and play a more smarter way. Let's see if he's able to approach me, as Chandelure does the best job in the entire game in my opinion at holding people back thanks to his many options that come out fairly quickly. He's trying to approach with the forward A attack, which is the Shadow Claw. But unfortunately for me, I'm aware of that situation, and I'm not allowing him to do what he wants. Now, I wasn't expecting him to get hurt right there, so I went for a second charge attack, but he actually released his guard at the very last second, and I was able to smack him back. Right now, all I'm doing right now is just zoning him out. He got too close. I'm dropping Finnegans, and then I'm going to launch a weak attack, and that's my option just to make sure I can hold somebody out. So I drop a laser. Again, you got to remember, you have to remember that ZeRo doesn't really know this matchup right now. So there's a lot of tools he may not understand that's in Chandelure's repertoire. So I'm sure he'll learn that as a matter of fact, we talked about it after the matchup, and you know, I gave him some advice about the weaknesses and strengths of Chandelure, so you can probably practice them all. So right there was just an option I did where I was just like changing up my approach. Now right there I made a mistake. I backed myself up into a corner, and that's not what you want. We literally went for the burst attack at the same time, and now this is funny. I went to go punish him for attempting to approach, but he ended up hitting me. So I'm like, okay, let me just go into defensive mode because I'm gonna get hit. Instead, the buffered burst attack came out, and I ended up doing damage to him. Okay then, so now this man has 2 debuffs on him. Now I want to try and do damage to him, or catch him in the hex. I went for the jab, assuming him to grab, because he did that before, and that's exactly what he did. I went for the grab, but he continued his approach immediately, which is exactly what you should do. However, in this situation, I am safe to drop the overheat, and that is going to be the first game coming back for me. So I am glad that I was able to maneuver around Weavile as I was in the first game. However, I need to learn when to mix that up with my standard attacks, the way that Chandelure shines, which is the ranged attacks that she loves to do. Like, everyone knows that those lasers, the will-o-wisp, the flame burst, all of that and more is like the main power behind Chandelure. So I gotta learn to trust that more, and as well as mixing in some aggressive attacks to throw my opponents off guard, because sometimes they're trying to approach me, and I have options to make them say, wait a minute, this wasn't such a safe idea. I need to be patient because he may just go in with his strong attack and whatnot. So here we go. This is going to be game 2, and right now he's trying a different approach. I'm also doing a different approach. I'm not going to sit there and let him just wall me in. I'm going to try and hold him back as much as I can. Now, one thing I noticed is that people like to try to get around the side of Chandelure, which is a really good option because when I'm just throwing my jab attack, my fireballs, they're easily avoided just by going straight into the left. So that's great for them, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. But what I do as Chandelure is that when I see that, I go around to the corner, I'll meet him in the corner, and I'll drop a Will-O-Wisp. Because now they have less room to walk to on the other side, and they have to go to the right, where I can start charging up my laser and put a lot of pressure on them. So they will have to block the Will-O-Wisp and then block the laser, which is a lot of guard pressure, and then they have to still approach me. So it's just a way to pretty much hold them back. Now, in this situation, as I told you guys before, the more debuffs you have on your opponent, the more damage Hex does. It literally follows, you know, how it works in the game. If they have a status condition, it does more damage. If they have two status conditions, it does even more damage in this game. So I got the command grab in with Hex, and I'm able to hold him off right here, and I was able to hit the first game. Now, on this set, this game, what I'm doing is just slowly changing up my projectile options, like how I am throwing out my projectiles. I'm not just dropping 4 fireballs and then the laser automatically. I threw out 2, waited to see what he did, charged up my laser, something like that. And I'm just holding him off. This is where Chandelure signs, once again, stopping his opponent from approaching. And then, if they get too close, he has options to say, get back, get back. Guess what? You don't normally like that. All of his X moves as well. Say, there we go. With Fennekin, I was able to get the jab off, but I wasn't able to follow up with the full Pokken combo. So right now, he was in his burst mode, and I was just trying to do damage because if you guys do not know this, when you're taking damage, your burst gauge actually gets dropped with each hit that you take. So you can save your own burst attack instead of just immediately going for it, which is what I try to do nowadays. And I did that until he got too close, and I tried to push him out with my burst mode activation. So at the end of that, I was trying to be a little bit more defensive, but he was even more defensive, put his guard up. When I dropped my overheat, put me in a bad position, but fortunately for me, he did not capitalize immediately. I was able to throw out my jab, and I held him back off. I did the damage I needed to, and I was able to secure that win. So thank you very much, ZeRo, for the set. Your Weavile is looking nice, man. I can't wait to see, after you got this game grasped, how well you rock out with them, because when you said you were getting the Pokken, I'm telling you, Weavile is the character I knew you were going to be rocking out with, and I'm sure you're just going to blow this out the water. But sure you guys go check his channel out. We have a completely different set on his channel. You guys should definitely go show some love to. Link to his channel and Twitter is in the description below. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter to know whenever I'm uploading more Pokken content, competitive tips, the Ferrum League, live streams on Twitch or YouTube, all that and more. And of course, if you enjoyed yourself, the like button is your friend. But I have nothing else to say for this video, so y'all have a good day. Bye!